Hey everybody, Brandy here doing my comments for my Stampin' Studio today. Today I'm going to show you how to create a really simple but cute Happy Friendsgiving card that you can send to all of your friends this year. Before I get into that though, I do want to share some information that is very timely and is time sensitive. As I'm recording this video, we are in October of 2020 and I am getting ready to participate in the Holiday Maker Fest. It is an online virtual craft summit, if you will, put on by my dear friend Jennifer Maker. She's got over 40 different crafters that are contributing to this summit. And guess what? The ticket is free. You can go on, and I'm going to put the link down below, but it is stampmesomelove / Holiday Maker Fest, all one word, and get your free ticket. The event is November 4th through November 8th. Now, if you're unable to watch all of the presentations during that 4-day period, they do have an option for you to purchase an all-access pass, which would give you immediate access to all the presentations and a ton of bonuses. And guess what? One of my stamp classes, my alcohol Christmas background class that I have on my Stamp Me Some Love Academy, is actually one of the bonuses that you get in that. Now right now, as I'm recording this video, the all access pass is $29, but that goes up on October 25th to $39. Now my class alone is $49, so you do get a big savings on that. But guess what? There's all kinds of other bonuses there as well. Free downloads, SVG files, printables, everything to help make your Christmas holiday a success. Alright, now let's get into the card that I made today. Today we are going to do a very simple card utilizing a technique called repeating backgrounds using your stamp positioner. I'm going to be using my Misti Tool today, but you can use whichever stamp positioner tool you have as long as you're able to use a grid background. This is the card we are going to be making today. We're going to be using Maker Forte stamp set called Fall Memories. And here's the stamp set right here. I'm going to be using this Happy Fall Y'all stamp for the background, and then we'll be using Happy Friendsgiving for the sentiment. So the first thing we need to do is to position our stamp onto the cardstock. I've got the cardstock as well as the grid paper all the way down in that left hand corner. And this is important because you want to make sure at least that grid paper is going to stay in position throughout this entire process. So I place the stamp down where I want it on the card, and then I pick it up with that door. I'm going to be using some colors from scrapbook.com as well as the Memento ink. I'll have links down below for all of the supplies that I'm going to be using for this card. So I'm just going to go ahead and get that inked up onto the cardstock and pull back, and I realized that it didn't stamp quite as clear as I would have liked. So that's the nice thing about the Misti or any other stamp positioner tool that you have, that you can go back and restamp it if it didn't get a clear image to begin with. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the grid paper in position where it is in that far left corner, and then I'm going to scoot up my paper 2 squares, which is going to be the equivalent of a 1/2 inch. And then I'm going to again restamp. I'm using the same color. This case it's going to be the scrapbook.com Guacamole color. It's a really nice fall green. I'm going to stamp that up again for the second time just to make sure I got that clear image. Then I'm going to repeat the process. I'm going to move it up 2 squares, making sure that that graph paper is still in that lower corner. So the graph paper doesn't move, but the cardstock is going to move up. Now we're going to change colors, so I need to make sure that I clean my stamp off pretty good so I don't get any green in the next color, which is going to be Daffodil, the scrapbook.com Daffodil color, which is a really pretty bright yellow. So just going to ink up that stamp. We've left it on the door in place, and we've only moved the paper up, and that's what's going to help us get that repeating background. So just close the door and stamp that up. And again, repeat the process if you haven't gotten a clear image. So once you're done with that, you're going to repeat this process again and again. And for this card, I've been doing 2 rows of each color, and I'm going to do that all the way down until I get to the very bottom. Next, I want to cut down this this card front, and I like to use nestled rectangle dies just to get it exactly straight. Sometimes my paper trimmer doesn't give me a straight image, so I really like using dies for this purpose. I think this may be a retired die set from My Favorite Things, but you can find these types of nested dies almost in any craft manufacturer around, and I'll link down below for some options for you. And then I'm going to be using the Gina K glue to glue the card front that I created with the repeating background to the black cardstock, and then glue that down to the actual card base. I used a heavyweight cardstock from Maker Forte. The color is English Mustard, and I thought it went really well with my fall colors here that I did on my repeating background. I love the cardstock from Maker Forte. They are heavyweight and solid core, and they make for great sturdy cards. Next, I'm going to be heat embossing the sentiment Happy Friendsgiving from the same stamp set from Maker Forte. I'm using that English Mustard cardstock and just prepping the paper down there with my embossing powder, and then I'm going to be using the color Hue clear ink. It's a sticky ink that I'm going to use to lay down onto the cardstock with the stamp, and then I'll be using some of my Hero Arts black embossing powder. Once the image has been stamped with the color Hue clear ink, then I'm just going to use my Hero Arts black embossing powder and just going to spread a little bit over there, shake off the excess, and use my heat gun to set the embossing powder. Next, I'm just going to use my Tim Holtz Comfort Trimmer to trim down that sentiment. I'm just putting that cardstock in there, just kind of eyeballing where it's not going to cut off the actual sentiment, lining it up, and then giving it just a little cut there. And then I'm going to push the cardstock through, again just sort of eyeballing it, making sure that I am not cutting off any of the sentiment. And then once I've got it down, then I'm going to cut it straight down. Like I said, this is a very, very simple card. I've just cut that sentiment down into a small strip, and then I'm going to cut the end off, and then I'm going to use my smaller scissors just to cut a little banner off. Nothing fancy, just something to kind of give it just a little bit of interest. To give the sentiment a little bit of dimension, I used Scrapbook.com's double-sided foam adhesive. These are the large rounds, pop-up dots that they have. I really like their foam dots because the foam is pretty dense and it doesn't wiggle around a lot, so I really like that for that purpose. So I'm just going to center or position my sentiment right there and pull off the backing for the double-sided foam adhesives, and then place the sentiment down on the card. And there you go. Your very simple repeating background for your Happy Friendsgiving card. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. Like I said, it's a very simple card, but it is very meaningful, And this year, with us not being able to get together throughout the holidays, I think it would be a perfect card for you to send one of your friends to say Happy Friendsgiving. Alright, now if you enjoyed this tutorial, please do me a big favor. Give me a big thumbs up. That tells the YouTube gods that you all like my videos and they're going to show it more often. And then hit that subscribe button. Also, hit that bell. That way you get notified every time I upload a new video. Now don't forget, you can get your free ticket for the Holiday Maker Fest, which happens November 4th through November 8th, 2020 at stampmesomelove.com/Holiday Maker Fest. If you all upgrade to the All Access Pass, you get one of my classes, which is the Alcohol Background Christmas Card class that I have on my Stamp Me Some Love Academy right now. You get that free, plus a whole lot more. And also, I'm offering anyone who participates in the fest, meaning you get one of your free classes, you get 10% off all of my classes until the end of November. Now you do have to purchase, or you do have to sign up for that ticket, and that free code, the coupon code to use, will be in the Maker Fest. Alright you guys, life happens, I comment, stamp me some love, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.